Hello, everyone. We should be live. Welcome to another SASA live stream. This is our team highlights. They're meant to showcase the behind the scenes work we do as an organization and give the chance for our team leaders, volunteers, and interns to share their experiences with the public. On this stream, we'll be highlighting the work of the virtual conference team. With us, we have David Danzig and Sam Honchuk. But first, we have just a little bit of housekeeping to get to as usual. A little bit about what SASA is for those who may not be familiar. The Save Ancient Studies Alliance. Our mission is to reverse the current downward trend in the study of the ancient world by engaging the public and bringing together students and scholars to share in their passion for the study of the ancient world in order to inspire a vast new generation of students. You can find us on all of the major social media networks. You just search Save Ancient Studies Alliance there to find us. Our live event protocol, we just ask that you please be kind and respectful. Listen and ask thoughtful questions throughout the event if they come to mind. If we have time, we'll read them aloud and answer them. Please be patient with technology and those administering it. All of our live events are live streamed on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and the recordings will be posted on the above platforms shortly after the event. And have fun, of course. If you enjoy our live streams, our archaeogaming, book clubs, reading groups, our virtual conferences, consider becoming a supporter of SASA with a recurring monthly donation. For as little as $3 a month, you can help us save ancient studies, and just go to saveancientstudies.org/donate to learn more, or you can hit that little QR code in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, and it takes you straight to the donation page. And thank you for joining us. So I'm going to take that off. Okay, and thank you, David and Sam, for joining us as well. Do you want to start with maybe introducing yourselves and your roles here at SASA, just in general?
Sure. Thanks so much, Cassie. So my name is David Danzig. I founded SASA a little over 3 years ago, and I currently am the director. I earned my PhD about a year ago in Ancient Near Eastern Studies from the Institute for the Study of the Ancient World of New York University. And I've been part of SASA ever since the beginning, and it's been a great ride, and we're doing wonderful things.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a current bachelor's student of Classics and Archaeology at the College of Charleston. I am a summer intern on the virtual conference team for SASA, and I look forward to participating in this stream.
Perfect. All right, so I guess we'll dive right into it. The conference is coming up July 23rd to 24th, so this coming weekend. Some details there on the bottom of the screen for people. Can you tell us about some of the presentations people can expect?
Oh, absolutely. So we have a whole range of presentations, some from independent scholars and some from people who work in academia as a career. Some of the topics will range from recreation of ancient naval rams to chemical and biological warfare in the ancient world, Norse handicrafts, sacrificial pillars in Vedic culture, examples of ancient science that can be found in epic poetry, and culture and science in Sparta, and of course, much, much more. These are just some highlights.
Of course. All right, so are there interactive portions of this, or will it just be straight lectures for people?
It will not just be straight lectures. We do have special sessions that can be RSVP'd for, where you will be able to interact with each other and some of our speakers. We also have social hours to break up the monotony of just having lectures. And even during our lectures and our talks, we have an open chat for questions to be asked that moderators will read to our speakers.
Perfect. And actually, when you mention registration, I'm going to put up our RSVP link there. Just scan that QR code, takes you straight to the virtual conference page for information and RSVP purposes. So this is certainly not a small undertaking, I would think. What goes on behind the scenes for a virtual conference as far as organization goes?
A whole lot of collaborative work. The virtual conference team has done a lot of work, especially with the fundraising team and the social media team. There's lots of meetings, lots of people texting each other very consistently, and lots of discussions, making sure that all of these moving parts are moving in the way that they need to be. And overall, it's been a lot of work, but it's also been a great time.
Great. I know. I'm really looking forward to the conference this year. Is there anything, perhaps both of you could answer this even, what are you looking forward to most this year with the virtual conference?
I would say I'm most looking forward to hearing all of the presentations. I've had the privilege of being able to take a look at the titles and the abstracts while preparing for this, and all of them sound absolutely incredible. So I'm very much looking forward to being able to listen in and help moderate the conference.
I have to say, I love the special sessions. People just dive in and talk to each other, and everybody gets their thoughts heard. And this year we're doing special sessions on self-publishing. And what's the other, Sam?
I believe the other one is, give me one moment. I don't have my document for that pulled up.
Well, I'll just go check it out on stateancientstudies.org/virtual conference.
The other one is access and affordability.
There we go. Access and affordability. That's going to be a really interesting one. I really would like to hear what people have to say about how to make ancient studies more accessible and more affordable. But for those special sessions, you have to pre-register by RSVPing on the website.
Great. And that kind of leads perfectly into my next question for the conference in particular. Now, I know it's free, it's open access, which is great. Why is that so important?
So it's incredibly important because as the mission of this organization indicates, ancient studies has been experiencing a downturn in more recent years, and part of this is due to a lack of public access, which has resulted in a lack of interest from the public. So having these openly available and accessible conferences that you can access from anywhere in the world are very important to maintaining and increasing public interest in ancient studies, and hopefully inspiring people to do more work or pay more attention to the ancient world.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I guess transitioning a bit from the conference in particular to maybe working with SASA in general, what drew, I guess, you to work with SASA, Sam, and to found it, David?
So what drew me to work with SASA was taking a classical archaeology class at the College of Charleston. We're required to take a course on the ethics and history of the field of ancient studies. And the course that I took had a lot of really wonderful in-depth discussions about accessibility and the importance of still maintaining ancient studies and changing it so it evolves with the world around us. And then I came across SASA on my Instagram, and it just all laid out very perfectly.
Well, from what I saw when I was a graduate student, it just felt like things were getting smaller and smaller within ancient studies overall, and a lot of people were feeling pressure that they wanted to be part of it, but they didn't know how there was going to be a future for them in this. And I knew that through my previous work for nonprofits, that when you have a cause in mind and you want people to know more about it and to be able to expand that universe, all you have to do is start telling people about it and sharing the wonderful parts about it that you really love. So that's why I got started SASA and brought all these wonderful people together. I'm so happy that you two are part of SASA as well. And I think the virtual conference is a really special piece of SASA's programming because it's the one time of the year where everybody from SASA gets together and everybody who that SASA has touched comes together in one big conference and learns about really interesting themes. This conference theme about ancient technology and science is really fascinating, and a lot of different fields within ancient studies have been studying how the ancients did science and technology and how it relates to our understandings of science and technology. One thing I think that's unique about the conference is that we take an ancient studies cross-cultural interdisciplinary view of things. So this year's topic does that as well. As a side note, I just want to say that I'm sorry that An Nguyen couldn't make it today. She's been the actual virtual conference team leader this whole year, and she's been doing a marvelous job. She did so last year as well. And Julie Levy has taken her place for the last few weeks. She's been doing a wonderful job. And thanks to all of the interns and volunteers and Austin Blackman. I think we really work nicely together as a team. And I think this year is really going to be a wonderful conference. I don't know if everybody knows, but last year we had over 10,000 viewers over the course of the 2 days of the conference. And it was just really a wonderful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait to see how the conference grows as we move forward. I'm going to throw you a bit of a curveball here. It wasn't written in the question, so I apologize if you don't know the answer. Just let me know. But why did you choose science and technology to be the theme for this year's conference?
Well, the goals of the conference are, one, first and foremost, to make an academic conference that's free and openly accessible to the public and widely advertised as widely as we can. And we have all these live streaming partners and advertising partners that put it out there through their social media channels. So first of all, we need a topic that's going to be interesting to a wide variety of people because we want to draw in a wide audience. And we thought that ancient science and technology has that sort of it factor where people are so fascinated by the ancient world. And a lot of people have these, I would say, misconceptions that ancient peoples were not as cognitively or socially developed as we are. And it's just not true. So that way people have to come up with ideas like there were ancient aliens who actually built the things that ancient people did. No, it was ancient people, their minds and their societies that figured out how to build these things and had the desire to build them and did them. So it's really interesting to be able to step out of our presentist world where everything we think about is in the Western world is so advanced in many different ways, but to recognize that human societies have been very advanced for a long time. We just got lucky that we had, the interesting scientific methodology and a few brilliant minds to turn the corner on some things. But human scientists and societies have been developing and doing science and building wonderful technologies all the way along. So I thought that would be very appealing to people. And on the other hand, we really want to bring people together a lot of independent scholars, because that's part of the focus of the conference, is to bring people together who are outside of the norm in academia and show that they too do real quality scholarship. And I think technology and science was also a really good theme to be able to attract people and to be able to go interdisciplinary, cross-cultural, which is part of, we think of ancient studies, the deep history of all cultures as a very interconnected sort of single field.
Great. So another curveball. I apologize. You just got me thinking. So we'll be having independent scholars there, people outside of academia. What other types of presenters could people expect as they are watching the conference?
What other types of presenters?
Yeah, so instead of people outside of academia, what else will they be doing? Or what else do they work on? Yeah.
Actually, there are people from all over the place. First of all, there are people from around the world, which is really interesting because just in terms of scheduling people, a global presenter group is not that easy. But at the same time, you really have people who are work in the clergy, and so their primary focus in their work and passion is interacting with other people and sharing their religions with people, with like-minded co-religionists, but also do scholarship on the side and find that to be very valuable. You have people who work in publishing and who spend a lot of their time looking at other scholarship or other people's writings and want to do some on their own and have this as an opportunity. Then you have people who, as I was saying, around the world who don't have local opportunities to present at conferences. I know for myself, now that most of the world is post-COVID, to a large extent, there are not that many publicly available online conferences anymore. During COVID, there was a lot, and people sort of got sick of it in some sense. But there's a really positive side of that, of there being so much accessible scholarship out there for everybody to just be a part of and learn from. And I think that's a role that our virtual conference is going to keep playing year after year, to maintain, a global ancient studies academic presence. Actually, I just want to throw out that for next year, the Virtual Conference 2024, which we're already planning towards, next year's theme is on representation of the past in ancient and modern times. Ancient peoples had their own thoughts and representations of the past, naturally, as all people do. Everybody in every society always has ideas about its past. And we have ideas about representing what our ancient, deeper pasts were like. And that all of that goes into our own identity formation and past people's identity formations. So that's the theme of the conference for next year. And actually, we received a $20,000 grant from the Wenner-Gren Foundation for next year to support that conference, which is going to include, as far as I know, in terms of academia, a completely novel approach. We're going to have live interpretation into Spanish and Arabic and English, three-way live interpretation. So we can have people who do not speak the other languages talking to one another, presenters from any of those three languages, and then attendants and participants also listening and responding in the chat in all those three languages. And we're really excited about that for next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be great. And it's going to open up the conference to so many people who otherwise may not be able to benefit from it. So I'm excited for that as well. I guess going back to the conference in general, just of all of the projects that we could work on here at SASA, and there's a lot, why choose to kind of institute something as big as a conference?
I feel like since SASA is a virtual run organization, and that all of us volunteers, we're in different places at different places all the time, and we don't really we each operate in smaller teams, smaller groups, but there isn't a coming together time that's so easy to put together. And also our constituency, so to speak, our members, people who are involved in SASA's programming, they're also all in their own places doing their own thing, and they participate here and there. But I feel like a conference is something, a time when everybody can come together and participate in the same thing, even if we don't see each other face to face during the conference, but we're all doing the same thing. We're listening to these wonderful presentations. And at the same time, of course, it's got to be about ancient studies. We have to be thinking about the ancient world together. So it felt like a great linchpin. I have to admit, the first year we started the conference, I thought it was a little bit of a crazy idea. I didn't know if it would be worth it. But you get 10 people watching, you put a whole year's worth of effort into getting people together and presenters and figuring out how to do this in a good online platform and reaching as wide an audience as you can. And if you get 100 people that watch it, that's a lot of work. But, the first year we already had 1,800 viewers. Last year we had 10,000 viewers. And this year, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I can say for myself that first conference is what drew me into SASA. I saw an ad from Kara Cooney about it, and I was like, What is this? I need to know more. And here I am as a volunteer. So what would you say to people who are interested in volunteering with SASA, but maybe haven't taken the jump to reach out quite yet?
Well, I'd like to hear from Sam and what she thinks about that.
Do it. Just rip off the Band-Aid and do it. Because that's how I am with internship stuff. I'll get an email from like our department or an organization I'm part of, and they'll be like, "Hey, look at this thing." And I'll be like, Should I just do it? It's wonderful. The hiring process is very easy. The team is so sweet and wonderful to work with, and they're very accommodating and will work with you to help you figure out where best you would fit within like the broader SASA umbrella. Just do it.
Well, thank you, Sam. Yeah, I mean, I participate in a lot of different teams here and there, and it's just wonderful always being around these different people and, sharing our passion and working together towards shared goals. So I think a lot of people in ancient studies are there's a lot of sort of internal intellectual work that we do, but a lot of us are givers. We want to be part of something that's more connected to other people. I think SAS is a really great opportunity to become part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would agree. Now, I know we said this would go for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So we're right about at that mark. Before we wrap up, is there anything we didn't get to that you'd like to mention, either about yourselves or the conference in general?
Honestly, I think we've covered bases in terms of the conference. Just, I definitely recommend people RSVP for the special sessions. They're going to be awesome, and we would love to have as many participants as possible.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And there's also the social hour at the end of the conference. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern on Monday, the 24th, when everybody can come. And that's not live streamed anymore. That's just there for chatting. You can chat with us, and a bunch of different SASA people will be there. It's always fun talking to people who are interested in SASA and interested in the ancient world. Also, I don't know if we pointed out, we have 3 really great keynotes this year. That's, again, as I was saying, once you do a cross-disciplinary conference like this, you really end up having some wonderful people who you can bring together. So we have Adrienne Mayer, who's a research scholar at Stanford University, and she's written some really interesting things on how the ancients perceived their scientific world. And we have Alexander Jones, who is the director, actually, of the Institute for the Study of the Ancient World. He works on ancient Greek and Mesopotamian crossovers of ancient astronomy and science, and he's going to show us a wonderful recreation, a 3D printed recreation of an ancient Greek thingamajiggy. I don't know what it's supposed to do, but we'll find out. Some type of technological work. And we have Dr. Jeffrey Moser, who works at Brown University, who's also really fascinating. So I really hope that everybody will join us next Sunday and Monday, July 23rd and 24th.
Yes, and to do that, again, you can just go to that QR code, scan it, and it will take you straight to the page to RSVP. If you like the work we do here, also consider donating. Again, another QR code up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen takes you straight to that page. And we will sign off now. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you.